Okay, so this is going to be a short one. As I've mentioned before, I'm a Five Nights fan. I mean, if you couldn't already tell from what I choose to cover in videos already. Security Breach is the next game to be coming out, and it was announced back in 2019. The original plan was for it to come out in 2020, but, well, yeah, that didn't happen. The wait has seemed longer in comparison then, and even with the odd little visual teaser here and there, a few trailers and a bonus free-to-play beat-em-up game, well, there have been some big gaps in time where we had no new information. Also, it seemed, 2020 was a very interesting year for one giant world-spanning reason, and personally my own internal clock got thrown very off, so it might have just made it feel longer. Anyway, back to the point, and about a week ago a site was launched to help promote the game, securitybreachtv.com. This showed us what appeared to be a security office, which for this franchise isn't a massive surprise, with one single massive screen in the centre, which you could easily guess would be where future information would probably be shown. Clicking around then didn't give much, but hovering your mouse over the site had the words "stay hidden" in what I think is Zalgo text. Right clicking gives a different Zalgo string though, much harder to make out, which reads, "You can't save this." But it's what dropped 3 days ago, as of writing, that I want to talk about. That screen was indeed used to drop the next bit of information, or in this case, a short animated cartoon. And I'd like to discuss my theories on what I think it might lead up to. Be warned that I'm going to be engaging in a lot more speculative guesswork than I usually do, if only because FNAF's like that sometimes. Firstly, I'm aware of all the little hidden details people have been finding, both in the source code of the securitybreachtv.com website, as well as the split-second shot of something hidden within the cartoon itself. That image seems to depict some skull-like heads, one very prominently, and has Alpha Z 6 groups at the bottom. Right now people are guessing that they're anything from the staff robots we've seen to being related to that one mysterious hand. My theories on this are that either this is a shot from a camera, the Alpha Z section, and the camera is reading 6 groups or 6 entities on the screen at the time, or possibly what we're seeing is a specific group of robots that are being kept under watch, and this is the Alpha Z group, or at least one of the 6 Alpha Z groups. They could very well be related to the staff robots, the mysterious hand, or even both. However, the dark background makes me think of this one particular shot that was first shown off in one of Dorco's live streams way back, the one with the broken glam rock chica in it. What if there is an area within the Pizzaplex that houses all the broken robots for either repair, salvage or trash, but some of those robots are still working in typical Five Nights fashion and have just escaped into what people are saying is the sewer? What if the Alpha Z shot is just a picture of one or more of them dwelling there in the darkness? What if, when we play Security Breach, the animatronics we see aren't the original ones? If the idea they are being hacked by Glitchtrap and Vanny turns out to be truthful, maybe they've been trying for a little while, but it's not quite been perfected yet. There is a common fan belief that the reason the toy animatronics from FNAF 2 act as they do is because they were tampered with, something alluded to briefly in Nightfall's phone call, and it's often thought that it was William Afton, or the purple guy, who did it. So the idea of hacking the Glamrock animatronics is plausible if we take that fan theory to be true, but although we don't know quite which year Security Breach will take place in yet, right now it seems to be taking place in a year way past 1987. And while it's most certainly after the events of FNAF VR, it could also be taking place after FNAF 3 and Pizzeria Simulator 2, which would put Security Breach at some point after 2023. Technology will have moved on, and maybe the reason the Glamrock Chica we see in that one picture is giving people Toy Chica flashbacks with her broken beak is because Glitchtrap through Vanny tried to hack the Glamrocks the same way he originally did to the toy animatronics, but it went very wrong, and the Glamrock Chica that was being hacked ripped his beak off and irreparably damaged itself in the process. My other thought is that while it does kind of resemble the fan robots, maybe the one closest to the camera is actually someone else. It kind of reminds me of Moondrop or the related Sun animatronic, only without the mask. The problem with that is we've not had a great fully lit look at Moondrop yet, although we can guess based on how similar they are to the Sun animatronic we've had a better look at. But right now it's still more of a wild guess than anything else. We'll see. But let's move on to the actual video itself now and what I think will be coming next. For those who haven't actually seen the cartoon yet, firstly, you should probably go watch it before continuing. But secondly, the cartoon is pretty much under 2 minutes long and features the main four of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica and Foxy, and takes some heavy inspiration from cartoons of the late 60s and 70s, most noticeably the Hanna-Barbera shows of these times. The cartoon starts off with a little static before we get a second of purple screen and then the title card of the show, Freddie and Friends on Tour. We see the tour van driving around before Freddy, Bonnie and Chica arrive in a forest. As they walk around, this is where we get the mysterious Alpha Z shot before the three find Foxy and ask if he wants to be in the band. Foxy seems to threaten them with his hook and the three run off, and after a moment Foxy runs after them. After a classic Scooby-Doo style chase scene, Foxy is unmasked to reveal an animatronic head. We then get a song play out from the band before the cartoon gives way to static again and the security breach logo with some scrolling numbers underneath, which is guessed to be how we're going to be given the release date eventually. I think, given that the video is titled with Episode 1, this might not be the only Freddie and Friends short we see. It seems likely that Steel Wool commissioned a small batch of shorts and we'll see Freddy, Bonnie and Chica doing pretty much the same thing we see here. Drive somewhere, encounter someone antagonistic, run around, unmask them, then play a song. It certainly fit the style of cartoon they're doing an affectionate parody of here. However, what I think is going to happen is that the last antagonist they face will either be Springtrap, Glitchtrap, or possibly a Vanny stand-in, and the episode won't end like it usually does with a song. Something will happen to give us a clue to either a mechanic or an important story beat of a security breach, or potentially Glitchtrap will break through the cartoon personally to frighten us or give us some sort of a message, or maybe give Vanny one. I also want to draw attention to two other little audio oddities. The SecurityBreachTV.com website is completely silent at first, until after you press the button on the desk to trigger the cartoon, after which the office site is filled with white noise hum. And it's just about possible to make out other sounds underneath it. What the sounds are right now is unclear because attempts have been made to clear noise and sharpen sound, but right now it's theorised to be anything from the sounds of people moving around, clothing moving, or even the sharpening of a knife, which makes sense when we remember Vanny is often depicted as carrying one. My question is, why does the audio only start after we play the cartoon, and will this audio be different or even added to with future updates? The other one is in the cartoon itself, just after the static ends the cartoon. It's possible to hear what sounds like a very slowed down voice over the white noise. I've tried my best to isolate the voice, and while I think I've gotten it to the right speed, I can't really make out what is being said, or even if it's reversed or not, but I'm leaning more towards it being reversed. If I've gotten the right speed though, it does appear to be a male voice. So what I did was to compare the voice to other voices we've already heard in the franchise, starting of course with the man behind the slaughter, William Afton, who would seem to be the obvious choice. With Vanny being under his control, we know that a form of him makes an appearance in the game. However, while it was close, it didn't seem to fit Afton's voice in my opinion, even before his death in Springtrap's suit. So I moved on to the other male Afton we've heard the voice for, Michael. I listened to his one single voice line from Sister Location's hidden cutscene, and in my opinion, even if the brief clip isn't very clear and I can't make out any words, the voice sounds more like Michael than it does William. I also compared it to the voice of Cassette Guy from Pizzeria Simulator's ending, and his voice is probably the least likely of these three to be the voice, although we only ever hear his voice recorded onto tapes, and as anyone knows, your voice sounds very different when recorded. And while I could look at Phone Guy as a source, well, Phone Guy's canonically dead at this point, which, mind you, never stopped Afton, but that's besides the point. But regardless, Phone Guy's voice is probably the most well-known of these voices in the franchise, and it really doesn't sound like him. Although there's a slight possibility it might be Phone Dude from FNAF 3, I don't think that's likely though. Nor does it seem to be any of the voices we've heard in the trailer so far. Not the one from teaser of September 2020, which is thought to be Glam Rock Freddy. Nor the angry voice from the trailer of February 2021, who was seen to be Afton or Glitchtrap or whoever is in control at this moment. Given all this, if the voice is indeed someone we've met already, I think it's most likely Michael. Of course, there's a great possibility that I'm wrong here, and usually when I theorise about Five Nights, I am. It could just as easily be the voice of a character we've not yet met. Or it could be another animatronic, but I don't really have the time to go through every single voice line from Ultimate Custom Night right now. I think in the end, for any more clues, all we can do is wait and see what we're presented with next. As I said at the start, this video is a lot more far-reaching speculations than I usually do, but I had some thoughts that I felt were worth sharing with you. Maybe we'll spark off some ideas of your own that get close to the truth, whatever that might be.